What if House Stark had dragons when the War of the Five Kings began? Would Ned Stark still die, or would the entire Game of Thrones collapse before it even started? Let's explore the depths of it in the video. The Dance of the Dragons left scars across Westeros. Dragons burned cities, kings fell, and House Targaryen nearly destroyed itself. But one strange tale survived. Mushroom, the fool who recorded many secrets of that era, claimed that Prince Jacaerys Velaryon once visited Winterfell, riding the dragon Vermax, and some believed the dragon left eggs somewhere near the castle's hot springs. Most maesters dismissed it as nonsense, until years later. The war had ended. Robert Baratheon now ruled the Seven Kingdoms, and far in the north, Eddard Stark returned home carrying grief heavier than armor. Lyanna Stark was dead. Promises haunted him. Seeking solitude, Ned wandered deep beneath Winterfell, into the crypts. Part of the lower tunnels had collapsed, exposing ancient stone and steam rising from the natural hot springs beneath the castle. Then he saw them. 3 large stone-like objects half buried in rubble. Dragon eggs. And when Ned touched one, it was warm. Days later, cracks appeared. Ned summoned Maester Luwin in secret, but even the Maester had no explanation. There was no Valyrian magic here, no blood sacrifice, only the ancient magic of the north and heat from the springs. Then, one night, the eggs hatched. 3 hatchlings emerged, small but unmistakable. Dragons lived again. And now, they were inside Winterfell. Ned knew what this meant. Robert Baratheon hated dragons. He called them monsters and slaughtered every Targaryen he could find. If Robert learned dragons lived in Winterfell, he would demand their deaths. So Ned Stark made a decision. Not as Lord, not as Warden of the North, but as a father. He would protect them, because the pack survives together. And now, the pack had wings. The dragons were hidden far from prying eyes, deep in the Wolfswood, inside abandoned watchtowers, guarded by loyal northern men who would die before revealing the secret. They grew quickly. The children named them. Jon Snow bonded naturally with the pale dragon later called Winter, its scales almost white in snow. Robb Stark bonded with a fierce gray dragon called Icefang, aggressive but obedient to him alone. The third dragon, darker and cautious, became fiercely protective of all the Stark children, rarely leaving their side. And something unexpected happened. The Stark children could feel them. Just as they later bonded with their direwolves, the connection was deeper than training. Old magic stirred, skin-changing, warging. Dragons did not obey commands, they responded to bonds. And the North began to change. Raiders from the Iron Islands suddenly avoided northern shores after fishermen reported winged shadows in the sky. Bolton rebellions faded quickly, and the Night's Watch whispered of flying creatures beyond the wall. Fear returned to the enemies of House Stark, but secrecy could not last forever, because the king was coming north. Robert Baratheon rode into Winterfell with all the weight of the realm behind him. The dragons, now the size of warhorses, were harder to hide. Rumors had already begun spreading south. Littlefinger heard whispers of flying beasts. Tywin Lannister's spies confirmed strange sightings. Tension filled Winterfell, and then the secret nearly unraveled. Bran Stark climbed the broken tower one afternoon, hoping to glimpse the dragons flying beyond the walls. Instead, he found Queen Cersei and Jaime Lannister together. But before Jaime could act, a dragon's roar echoed. Startled, Jaime released Bran to draw his sword as guards approached. Bran escaped unharmed. The secret stayed hidden a little longer, but fate would not wait. Soon after, Prince Joffrey clashed with Arya Stark near the river. Nymeria bit the prince, and Sandor Clegane moved to punish her. Then a dragon descended nearby, roaring in defense. Every guard saw it, every noble heard it. The North had dragons.
Robert demanded answers. Tywin demanded the dragons be destroyed. Ned Stark refused both. Soon after, events followed familiar paths. Ned traveled south as Hand of the King, but when political conflict erupted, the North did not march, it flew. Robb Stark rode south not just with banners, but with dragons overhead. Armies broke at the sight, supply lines burned, fortresses surrendered without battle. The twins never betrayed Robb. Walder Frey would never risk angering dragon lords. The War of the Five Kings ended quickly. Lannister power collapsed. No Red Wedding, no prolonged war, just fire and submission.
In the end, the North declared independence, not in rebellion, but in strength, a kingdom guarded by dragons and united under House Stark. And when the White Walkers eventually marched, they faced enemies they had not seen since ancient times. Dragons born of cold lands, fire and ice united. The final image spreads across the wall. Jon Snow and Robb Stark stand atop the frozen battlements. Dragons circle overhead. The North stands secure, not just wardens of the realm, but its ultimate protectors. The age of Stark Dragon Lords has begun.
And this is only the beginning, because the real war hasn't even started yet. What happens when dragons of the North finally face the White Walkers, and how will the rest of Westeros survive a Stark dynasty with fire and ice on its side? If you want part 2, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment part 2 below, because in the next episode, the war truly begins.